So, working in Switzerland, maybe you've been thinking about it for a while. Maybe you just stumbled across the idea recently, and now you cannot stop Googling salaries and going, wait, is this real? It is real. But here's the thing, it's not as simple as people make it look. I've lived in the Swiss border region for over 20 years now. 20 years. And I have watched people make the exact same avoidable mistakes over and over again. So today I want to walk you through what actually works step by step, no fluff. So the first thing, and I feel really strongly about this one, is to stop taking advice from people that have never actually done what you're trying to do. The moment you say out loud what you're thinking about working in Switzerland, suddenly everyone has an opinion. Oh, I heard it's not that great. My cousin knows someone who tried it and it didn't work. Are you sure this is worth it? And I get it, people mean well, but here's my personal rule. Because if someone hasn't personally navigated this process, their opinion on it is just noise. Protect your vision, seriously. So this one is important. Working in Switzerland, whether you're commuting across the border or actually relocating there, is not something you can do halfway. There's real paperwork, there's real preparation, a real shift in how you approach your career. And the people I see struggling are almost always the ones who went in treating it like a casual experiment. I'll just apply to a few things and see what happens. That approach does not work here. But when you do it properly, it is genuinely life-changing. Not just the salary, although yes, the salary is good, but the career opportunities, the international environment, and the quality of life. Switzerland attracts talent from all over the world. So yes, there is competition. But here's what I want you to understand. Especially if you're watching this channel, you have something that is genuinely in demand here. Switzerland has 4 national languages. But in international business, finance, tech, science, the NGO world, English is very often the working language. So your English fluency is not just a nice to have, it opens doors that a lot of people don't even realize exist. The key is knowing which doors to knock on and how to do it properly, which brings me to something I think is really underrated in this conversation. So this is the part that most videos about working in Switzerland completely skip over. And honestly, it's one of the main reasons I wanted to make this video for my community especially. Switzerland is home to the most prestigious international organizations in the world. The UN, the WHO, the ILO, UNHCR, the WTO, the Red Cross, the CERN, which is one of the world's leading scientific research centers. That's super amazing to me. And it's literally here, just straddling the Swiss-French border. And these organizations actively recruit internationally. Many roles are specifically designated for candidates from outside Switzerland because they need the geographical diversity on their teams. So if your background is in public health, international law, humanitarian work, scientific research, communication, policy, finance, IT, even admin, these organizations should absolutely be on your radar. This is a huge opportunity and I think it gets overlooked way too often. Okay, so whether you're going after a private company or an international organization, a generic application is not going to cut it here. For Swiss private sector employers, the format, the length, the tone of your CV matters. Swiss employers value precision and they value professionalism. Your cover letter is not the place to be vague and enthusiastic in a general way. It needs to show that you understand this company and its role. Generic applications get filtered out very fast. For international organizations, the UN does not use a regular CV. They have their own system through which you build what's called a personal history profile, a PHP. It's a detailed online form structured in a very specific way where you document your education, your experience, your competencies, your achievements, etc. Most other UN agencies like WHO, UNICEF, UNHCR, they have their own versions of this, but they all follow the same general model. So before you even think about applying, you need to create an account and learn how to fill in a PHP properly. Either way, take the time to tailor every single application. I know it's more work, but it's absolutely worth it. So I think a lot of people's first instinct when they start job searching is to just apply to everything. Every posting that looks vaguely related, every job board, just send. And I get the logic. More applications, more chances, right? But in Switzerland, that approach actually works against you. So find the roles that are a real match for your actual experience and skills and put serious effort into each and every one. Quality over volume, every time. Okay, so interviews. This is where I see a lot of otherwise strong candidates fall short, and it genuinely doesn't have to be that way. For Swiss private sector employers, the culture is structured and quite detail-oriented. Recruiters expect you to have actually done your research, the company's history, what they're working on right now, where they're headed. That level of preparation immediately signals that you're serious. Practice your answers out loud. Record yourself practicing your answers. Know your CV inside out and don't wing it. Now, for international organizations, and I want to be really specific here because this is important. The format is completely different. And UN interviews and most international organization interviews are competency-based. You'll hear this also called behavioral interviewing. So every single question is structured to assess a specific competency through your past experience. The framework that they use is called STAR. So STAR is situation, task, action, result. So they'll ask you things like, tell me about a time you had to navigate a conflict within a team, or describe a situation where you were working under serious time pressure. What did you do? What was the outcome? Etc. So your credentials and your talent alone will not carry you here. You need concrete, specific, well-structured examples ready to go for each core competency. And beyond that, you'll get questions about the UN's core values: integrity, professionalism, respect for diversity, because these are central to how they evaluate every single candidate. And if you're applying for a technical role, on top of all of that, you expect technical questions specific to your field as well. And the panel typically has at least 3 people. There's the HR, the hiring manager, and a staff council representative, or even a subject matter expert. It is a serious process, but it is absolutely learnable if you prepare properly. Okay, so housing. This one is important, and I think it's also the one where most people get the most surprised. Finding housing near Switzerland is competitive, like genuinely competitive. Demand outstrips supply, especially in the border regions, and landlords get dozens of applications for every listing. Start your search early. Now, here's where I need to be really transparent, because the reality is quite different depending on where you're coming from. If you're an EU or EFTA national, so German, Italian, Austrian, or from another EU country, you benefit from free movement agreements with Switzerland. So living across the border and commuting is administratively fairly straightforward. Landlords know what to expect from your situation. If you're a third country national, meaning you're coming from Canada, the US, Africa, or anywhere outside the EU, inside Switzerland, the Swiss G permit for non-EU cross-border workers is subject to strict federal quotas. But here's the part that people really don't think about. If you want to live in a neighboring country as a non-EU national, you need more than just your Swiss work permit. Staying anywhere in the Schengen zone for more than 90 days requires a long stay visa. This is what France calls Visa D, and eventually a full residence permit from that country. That is a completely separate immigration process, totally dependent on your work, on your Swiss work authorization. So if you're Canadian, American, or from outside the EU, you are potentially managing two parallel immigration processes at the same time. Your Swiss work permit on one side and your right to actually live in the country next door on the other side. So start both early, like earlier than you think you need to. Okay, so this one I want to clear up because there's a lot of confusion around it. For most people working in Switzerland, whether for a private company, an NGO, or a local organization, you will almost certainly need a Swiss bank account to receive your salary. Over 95% of Swiss employers pay directly into a Swiss IBAN. That's just how their payroll works, and trying to get around it will create more headaches than it's worth. The smart move is not to avoid it, it's to open the right account. Traditional Swiss banks can be really expensive for non-residents and cross-border workers, but there are low-cost digital options specifically designed for people in this situation. Things like Neon, CA Simply, that give you a Swiss IBAN without the heavy fees. And then use something like Wise to convert your Swiss francs into euros or dollars or whatever currency you need back home. And the difference adds up to a lot over the year. Now, if you're specifically targeting the UN or in other international organizations, the picture is genuinely different here. Internationally recruited UN staff are paid in dollars, not Swiss francs. And many use something called the UNFCU. Now, the UNFCU is the UN Federal Credit Union. It's a non-profit banking cooperative that has existed since 1947. And it was created specifically for UN community. On your very first day of working in Switzerland, the clock starts ticking. You have 90 days to make a decision about your health insurance. And in most cases, that decision is irreversible as long as you're working there. Now, this specifically applies to workers from the EU, from EFTA countries that have bilateral agreements with Switzerland. If you're from Canada, the US, or outside the EU, you generally just go straight to the Swiss Lamal system. But understanding what that costs and what it covers is still really important for your budget. For those who have the option, you're choosing between your home country's public health system and the Swiss Lamal. Both have real pros and cons, and the right answer depends on your personal situation, your family, your canton of employment, your healthcare needs. Miss the deadline and you're automatically enrolled in Lamal, potentially with backdated penalties on top of that. 90 days sounds like a lot, but it goes really fast. So please do not leave this till the last minute. I have a video about that. You can check it out here, and I also have it in the description below. Working in Switzerland has been one of the best things to happen in my life, and it happened by chance. I did not know the process and I made mistakes along the way, and that is exactly what this channel is here to help you do. Whether you're coming from Europe, from North America, from anywhere in the world, you don't have to figure this out alone. If this video was useful, save it. Genuinely, bookmark it, because there's a lot of information here and you will want to come back to it. And if you have questions about any of these steps, drop them in the comments below. I read every single one, and see you in the next one.